Okay. So we have the user contacting Django, Django transferring it to the project's URL, the project's URL transferring it to the application URLs. The application URLs, the only thing his job is transferring it to the right place in the views. Okay, so that's why we have this page called views. So from here, you see we have the home. That's really the first one. In a minute, we'll see many ways you can get to there. It takes me to this function. When you click on it and do Control B, it takes you directly to the function. That's something in PyCharm, okay? But this is really a function. I have a function called home. So let's say this function, what it does is sending a template. Here is a template to the user. Fair enough?
Fair.
That's very important. So what we have, so let's go back to here. Views has function and transferring it. I'm losing some people in the middle. Is that a connection problem?
Not really.
Templates. I hope I spelled it right. I never know how templates. Okay, so I should really write template, okay? So the view sending a template, in fact, that's what I have right here. So we can say the view is sending a template back to the user.
Yes.
Okay, he's sending it back to the user. So how is the logic goes? The logic goes that from the user is asking for something, it goes all this process, views, sending, what happened? I have a lot of chats. Yeah, why? David can't see the screen share. Everybody see my screen share?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know why. That's a problem with, tell him maybe to try again because it's a problem with it's the problem with Zoom really. That's why we need to get rid of Zoom and have our own. That would be really nice. I hope in a month we'll finish it. That would be really very, very nice. Anyway, okay, so we have a template. So the function is sending us the template, but before it's sending it to us, there is a process. Okay, there is a process. The view doesn't just send the template. In the template, when it's sent, before it's sending it back to here, before the view sending the template, there is a processing here. Processing to create an HTML web page. So after the processing, so the template is being processed. What do I mean by that? Pay attention. I send here some information. That's called a dictionary, if you recall. And Brian, are you with us? I lost him, I think. Is Brian okay?
I'm here.
Okay, good. This is very important for a general understanding. And Michael can say, and Brenda, and Mildred, and everyone, I repeat myself because it has to sit in your head so well. You won't get lost. Otherwise, there is no way you're not going to get lost. If you have it well organized in your head. Okay, so in the processing, before the view is sending or rendering, there's a function in Django called render. Here we go. We're taking it from a package in Django. Before he's rendering it to the user, is processing this template. And I can transfer information to the template in this way by a dictionary. So in this dictionary, I'm really only transferring a variable called title and the variable is just a string, homepage for trading. So let's open this template. Look at it. So we said, how do we organize templates? It's a directory inside the application,
Same name.
and all the templates are going to be here, but we're going to make another directory, and I promise that I will explain why we do that when we get there, okay? Has to do with deployment. It really has to do with deployment. It's not going to be clear now. I can talk about it an hour or two, and you won't really get it until we start talking about deploying. How do I take this one to work on Amazon? We're not just taking it, copying, and that's the end of it. Definitely not. It's much more complex. And we have so many applications, we want to make sure that they are not going to be copied one on top of the other one. Rule number one, for every application, make templates directory. It looks redundant, but it's not. Make a directory with the same name. This is the application, templates, and main. Okay, so the template is under main. It means templates, main under templates. Because when he collecting everything, he's referring to templates. I will talk about it as I promised in deployment. Now, I'm going to pick up this home. Okay, this home is right here.
Yes.
But see what's going on in this simple function. Very, very simple function. What it does, it said, send this template to the user, but process it beforehand. And please, in the process, be aware that I'm giving you a variable called title. So inside you can use it. What do I mean by that? Let's go and open this one. Last time, if you recall, guys, we talked a lot about this one. Is that right?
Absolutely.
I will skip it for a second. I just want to focus on this one. By the way, you see, I kind of put double bracket, tile bracket, and I put a title inside. What does this title come from? This title, it's the variable I transferred to the template. So let's summarize that in my primitive, I love those primitive pictures, okay? So I'm doing a processing. So in fact, you can say that in fact, here we go. No, not this one that I wanted. I can't find the straight line. I think this is it, isn't it? Yeah, okay. From the view, okay.
Yeah.
How to have a head the other way. From here, and the head. That's what happened when you use a primitive. I love those. Okay, I will use a V, okay? Yeah. The view is sending me a template. When he's sending those templates, he is allowing me to send to the template information. I intentionally calling it information. Why do I call it info? You know, what is the info in my example? The info is the title. I send him one variable, but I can send him anything I want. I can send him even, oh, I see here Jerome with us. Hi, Jerome. I saw I had to start a little earlier. I know that you're just finishing, so I apologize, okay? And Michael will make sure, and Brenda and Mildred, so you catch up. Okay, next time we'll start at 5:30 instead of 5. I know you're just finishing school or whatever, okay? So I apologize. Anyway, this one I call information. I'm having a name of a variable, and I'm sending in this time, I'm just sending really what it says here. So what Django is doing is, in this example, the info is really just a variable called title. And that one will go, it will go to the template. The template can use that information and to use it inside. How do we see it here? Let's go and look at this one. He's using it here. I can use it as a variable. And then what he's going to do in the main page, he's really going, and by the way, he's using color blue. That's clear CSS. Again, it's not the topic of this course. We focus more on, in fact, this is something I would love that you study by yourself, okay? In Academy City, I honestly believe if you do not get to a point you can study by yourself, you wasted your time. You have to get to that level. And there are certain things I would ask you to catch up on your own. I will be the director. I will lead you. I will give you a structure. I'll tell you how they're connected, which is the hardest part, okay? The rest, learning HTML, it's easy. I referred you to the website of, I think it's called W3 School. Excellent website, excellent. I'm not going to teach you, it's a waste of your time and my time. But you should go over step by step. You don't really study everything by one day. We will mention it all the time. You see, I'm mentioning it all the time. This is just style, it's a CSS. You can create a file, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the key point. The key point is this. This is important. I got a variable from the views. This is a simple one. Let's demonstrate it, and then I will show you another example, much more sophisticated one that we use in this simple application we use for this course. So let's run it. Python.
Yes.
.py run server. I always like to write the port, although you don't have to, that's the default. Beautiful, I do a click. Okay, here we go. Here we go, what does it say here? Home page for trading. Hey, what did you got this title? Now we can understand it. Is that right? We can understand it now. Why we can understand it? We know that this is really, this title goes into this template. So if I go here in the view and change it, hey, let's say I just testing it. Okay, so what's going to be the title now? The beauty here, I'm transferring all of that to as a variable. It will go to the template and it will put it here. So let's see if it did it. Let's refresh. Here we go. Now we see the link. What was the link? The link was that in the view, I transferred a variable information to be used inside the template. The template will process it, and what it's done, it will send a website to the user. So let's look at what the user is getting. Okay, we see here, it goes back to the user. So here we go, this is it. Let's do right click, view page source. By the way, this is really the HTML that goes to the user. You see that, HTML?
Yes.
That's really what comes here. This is the page. It's HTML. So let's look for the title, by the way. Can we find the title? Let's see. Anybody can find the title here.
Around there, slightly.
There it is. And see how beautiful. It's really putting it exactly in the same place. What it did, if you're noticing, it has this template. Wait a second. שקו שאני בשיעור לא יכול, מאמי. ביי מוד. Okay. What really happened, if you recall, this part, we put the variable. What Django did, which is a really nice feature, needless to say, it took the title the view have transmitted to the template and put it in the right place. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. Now is the questions to you guys.
Yes.
Let's see if you will answer the question. Okay, ready? Mildred? Jerome, are you ready? Okay.
Yes.
I have an HTML, is that right?
Yeah.
I want to put the mouse on top of the title and it will change the color. That's pretty cool. How did we do it last time? Remember? Now we'll see why everything is connected. Where is that file? I think it's this one, isn't it? See that? I'm moving the mouse on top of it, it's changing the title. What
JavaScript.
makes you different than other programmer, than other one, that you have a good design? By the way, when I started studying computer, the book that attracted my attention most was a book called Design Patterns. Unfortunately, I don't see as many books anymore. And I think it's the most important book. How do I design my project? Here we go. I want this one to be, okay? I want this one now. Some things to happen to what we just did now. I want this title, start going right to left, right to left. When I put the mouse, it will change color or name or picture or whatever. Now you are totally lost. I don't know what the connections. How do I connect the two things? That's the beauty. When I get to this processing, okay, I can build inside the template anything I want. What can I put in the template? And which language can I use mostly? Anybody? I start typing it. Brian?
JavaScript.
JavaScript. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, after it's downloading it to the page, JavaScript can work because it works on the client. It doesn't need the server. Pay attention. Everything's in here. All this, it's sitting on Amazon. It's also this, but when the template is coming down, it's in the user computer now. Remember, the template's in the user computer. It's a page, just like this page. It's just like this page. Who is doing the work here? It's the browser on the user computer. Honestly, this sentence, if you really understood it, it's worth gold. Many people don't have it, takes them time. We're saving all this time by understanding the structure. In JavaScript, I can control all HTML element.
Excuse me, Dr. Amos. I
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
wanted to add that some of these effects can be achieved using CSS animations, right?
Correct, but hold a second. Absolutely. But think about those CMS, okay? It's really people, smart people have embedded, even the animation is using really behind the scene programming. You just use it as a CSS. But that's okay. It's a very good point. It's a true point, by the way. Okay? So, but the truth of the matter, what really important for me is to understand that HTML elements can be manipulated by JavaScript. Now, HTML could be also manipulated, of course. How do I write it? Okay, let's do this way. This is a very good point that you mentioned. HTML also could be, in fact, not just could, that's the way we do it. We change the color. It's also changing an HTML element, and we do it with CSS. So Brian's point is extremely important. And CSS today is so developed that even animation looks like you need programming. No, he's right. In fact, I'm using, in fact, if you look at the Academy City, it's really CSS, okay? When I go to Academy City,
And is it
no,
doing that?
I don't want to log out. I will
Is it doing
just,
that using jQuery library of JavaScript?
no, I just want to give an example. I think it will be really, by the way, here, I'll talk about it some other, all that stuff. I go to Academy City, by the way. Okay, let me do log out. Here's what Brian just said, he is absolutely right. Okay, when I put the mouse, you see my mouse? Okay, I put it on sign up. Oh, you saw something came out, is that right? This screen is really
Yes.
done by animation of CSS. Things that you will learn as we get there, okay? But the key idea is really very important, and thank you for the comment. That was a good one. It's that we basically, when we are on the client side, we have tools to manipulate the template when it is on the user. So we can use HTML can be also, let's say we will say CSS is for changing and manipulating. Mostly style, I would say. Mostly style, I should say. Mostly, but not only, mostly style. And Brian said correctly, could be like animation is a good example. Okay? So, but see what the beauty here, and that's what makes it really hard. Nowadays, I'm looking for, who should I give the hardest question now? I'm missing Jimmy. Where is Jimmy today, Michael? Brenda, where is Jimmy?
Jimmy, he might join us later on.
Is he okay?
He's still working on the other things.
Yeah, I know he has some issues, but I would like to make sure he's up to speed. He's a brilliant kid. Okay? So Michael, be in touch with me. I want to make sure he's up to date. Okay?
Yes.
He's brilliant. I know the kid's brilliant. I know he has some issues that he has to deal with, but we're not going to leave him by himself. Is that right?
Right.
Okay? So be in touch with me and let me know. Okay?
I will.
He's a brilliant kid. So it would be a shame we have to be as a group, as I said. So please be in contact with me. Okay, what is the challenge? Anybody see the challenge? We just learned, okay, we got really something here, real good understanding. You know what, before I give you the challenge, I want to introduce another type. I wrote intentionally information. So I'm gonna write another internal one, could be variables. What would be more interesting than just variables? Maybe I shouldn't write it this way. You know, we transfer title, remember? What else I would love? Which kind of information I would like? Maybe the template, well, I want it to come to the template and the template do with that information. Why do we store all the information, by the way, in this framework? Why the information? Do we keep the information on Django? Definitely not. Do we keep information in Python? Definitely not. Python is a programming language. So where do we put the informations?
Database.
Exactly right. So let's look at our example here. And let's go to to-do application. A different application. Oh, beautiful. By the way, are we using here database in this application?
Yes, we are.
Oh, beautiful. Let's look at it. Okay, what is the process to get to this page? Hey, we go to the main page probably, we're going to the application to do, and there is nothing after that. One more time. This is our domain and the port. We go to do. That's probably we'll find in the main navigator. That's really what we'll find here. in these projects URLs. It will see the to do. After that, it will move me to the application URLs. There is nothing. And then it will take me to the view. So let's follow it. Let's follow it. Okay. I actually close it. I go to the main application URLs. Anybody see that? Here we go. Oh, here is to do. To do takes me to the Threads apps to do URLs. Okay, very good. That takes me to the Threads, applications, to do, and takes me to this URL. This URL, oh, there is nothing. This is main regular expression, starting, ending, and nothing in between, meaning it's empty. Empty, it means nothing after the last slash. All right? If I'm getting to nothing after the first slash, that means it's going to take me to this function. Same logic. Control B will take me to that one. Oh, but this one, very interesting. This is a little more sophisticated. You know, this is I was playing with another class here. I'll move it aside. Anything that has a hash, it's not going to be activated. Here we have a render. You see that? Very, very similar to what we saw in the view in the main. See the main and the view, that's the view when we looked at the main page template. We transfer title, but we gave a string. Look at that here in to do. We are going to this template. We're transferring a variable called items, but what am I transferring?
Items.
Anybody wants to guess?
Items.
Yeah, what is items? You see, I didn't have quotation mark. Is that right?
A variable, right?
It's the variable called also items. I can change the name. It doesn't matter. I usually like to keep them the same. It don't have to be. You know what? For you, I would change it. I would change it in a minute. Okay? But this is the variable going to this template. Let's open the template. Maybe that will help you out. Again, the same structure you see under templates. I have the index template. That's what I'm transferring to the user. Let's open it. Here we go. Well, that we talked about last time. We're not going to talk about it. And let's ignore this one. We talked about the toolbar. Not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it's this part. Only this part. Let's leave this one. We'll talk about it next time. This one we'll talk next time. Okay? Let's talk only about this part. This is very interesting. By the way, do you see the word items here? Anybody see the word items?
Yes.
By the way, anyone remember which language is this? We're using inside the template a language. It's
Jinja.
not JavaScript. It is not. This is working on the server side, on Django. This is belong to the processing. The processing is done by Jinja. In fact, now they're using Jinja 2. This is the language to process information that come from the views to the template. So this language is being used on the server side, take information, modify the template to be a nice web page, and then it's sending it to the user.
By the way, how much of a difference? How much is the difference between the Jinja language and Django template language?
They are also similar,
Okay.
but they are designed really for a specific. Say, for example, here I have a loop. So a loop, if you remember in Python, we have also, okay, for I in a range or something like that, okay? And in JavaScript, you have also a loop, okay?
Okay.
Then you will do for, you open parentheses, you just have to learn the syntax. I, semicolon, I lower than something, semicolon, I plus plus. That's one example. And then in tiled brackets, but the idea is the same things. But powerful about this one. What is items? Items has to be a group because I'm looping. Is that right? I'm doing 4 items in the items. So item has to have several items. And the truth of the matter, and that's the time to dive into what is items and learn one more things. And that's extremely important. In fact, items, it is a table. It's a table defined. Why do we define tables in the database? Which module?
Models.
In models. Let me double click. Oh, here we go. That's the place we define table. Remember I showed it to you in the beginning of the course?
Yes.
That it goes automatically with make migrations, migrate, create the table. If I want to get the data from there through Python, all what I have to do is write this line from that matters. That means from this file, from this file, bring the class item. Class item, it really is nothing but the table itself. So I have items, C capital I. We always write them as capital to distinguish that this is the table. I bring the table to here. After I have the table, this is a very, you can ignore the other one. Let's ignore this one. That's what we'll talk next session. I want to talk only about this line. This is the only things. What this line does, it goes to the table and this object that we created in model is inheriting. If you recall, we talked about it in our previous, that we're inheriting from a general class that Django have written to manage table in a database. Remember? Now I refreshing. Now it tells you why I always say, go over it again, go over it again, go over it again, because when you put everything together, your brain explodes. Is that right?
Right.
So we're getting really, this is a very smart object. We're just inheriting from it. And when we're inheriting from it, remember we just put really two columns. A third column, which is the index, it's automatically created. So basically this is representing the table in the database. Here, all what I have to do, it's call this object, which I bring to this file with this line. So it says for model, import item, that means take the definition of the item, bring it to here. That's really what it means. Now that I have the definition of it, this object has an object called object. And that represents all the lines in the table, all the rows in the table. And I tell him, bring me all the rows. In another word, items, it really is an object that has all the rows in the table. And what the beautiful here, and that's really what makes Django so nice, is bringing it as an object, transferring it to the template. Now the template can do very smart work. The template, go here, I think this is it, and can do a loop. By the way, what do we have here, by the way? Forget about the class, it's H4. To remind you, H4, it's a title, remember?
Yes.
So for every item, it is making it H4, it's the size. It make it strong, means it's bolded, okay? Then he's putting, oh, this is start looking familiar. Remember, this is like the way we're putting variables, like the title we did. This
Yes.
time, we're putting the ID of that row. So in the table, we have a column of ID. For the specific row, we'll have an ID. So we want him to print the ID of that row. Next, we have another column called item. That doesn't make any difference. It's just good for you. It doesn't make difference on the HTML. Okay. Take the text. Okay. And
Yes.
then emphasizing, okay, that it's really is this is really HTML. That I will leave to you to read about it. It's just make it look nicer. You'll see in a second. And he put the date. By the way, the date. So let's look at it. We have 1, 2, 3 columns. How many columns do we have in the model? Only 2. Text and posted. The ID generated automatically. This is exactly those 3 that we're using in here. ID, text, and that posted. And the beautiful is looping, so it's generating many of them, as many items there are. Okay? Fair enough?
Fair.
Okay, what I would like to do now, make your life harder, as if it's not hard enough already. I'm gonna open PG admin. You know, a PGN, yeah, why not? This PG shows me the table in the database. As I said, in real life, you're most likely not going to use PG admin. And in a minute, I'm going to ask you, what are you going to use in real life, in production? This is good for developers, but not for production. Production is when you really actually have, it's working on the website on Amazon. In a minute, I will get to that, okay? So here we go, I'm opening it. Let me put the password. I hope I remember it. Was it SQL? How did we call it? Do you remember SQL, one page? I always. Yeah, here we go. Good. So now let's go to the browser. And let's go to tables. Anybody see here to do items? Here it is. Right click and let's see the items, all rows. And here we go. Okay, this is what we see. We have 4 rows.
Yeah.
This is the ID, this is the date, and this is whatever it is. Okay, I'm expecting now, when I go here, to see exactly those stuff, isn't it? Here we
Yes.
go. We have exactly 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is exactly what written here. You see the date? That's exactly what we have in the table. So what the beautiful things that Django have done for me now, it pulled, I'm using Python really, if you think about it. In Python, I'm pulling all the rows from that table. I'm transferring it as a variable called item. Now I would change it. Let's put underscore here, by the way, won't make a difference. This is inside the view, inside this Python function, but I only transfer it here. I will put underscore. So this one, it's what I'm transferring, but the name inside the index template, it is called items. Everybody got it? Michael? Brian? That's a little subtle point. Don't get lost
Yes.
on that one. Don't get lost on that one. Brian, you with us?
Yes.
Good. Don't get lost on that one. This is internally defined.
Although what
transferring it to
one thing
the
I'm wondering
template
about
in
is
this
why
name.
that
This is the name inside the template. Okay? So by doing that, I didn't really do any change. Doesn't make a difference. So that's why I many times just keep the same name. Doesn't make a difference. It's easier for me to follow. Beautiful. Now inside here, I have a loop for item in items. So this is really my variable. And here, so this is going 4 times. And that's really what we see here. We see it goes 4 times. Hey, how about we do inspect? Let's do inspect. Let's view the page. Anybody can find, we need to find 4 rows, is that right? Anybody find 4 rows? Here they are,
Yes.
isn't there? So you want 4 times. You replace the number 1, the number
Yes.
1 here, 2 or 3, it's nothing but this one. Then we have a dash. Let's put 2 dashes so you can see it. I will have to restart the server. Just a second. So you can follow. Okay, we have the number. So what is that number? That number, let's close it. Let's refresh. You will see here like 4 dashes. You see that? We have the number, we have dashes. That's what we just did now. This is it. And then we have the text. It comes from the table. This is the text. And then we have a dash. And then we have a date. This is the emphasize. This is really like making it diagonal a little bit, just changing a little bit the look of it, okay? But that's basically what it does. So this is really one new things we learned. What did we learn today? We reviewed a lot of things. Then we learned that in the view, I can get all the items from a table, transfer it to the template. Inside the template, I can print them all. I can play whatever I want. There's many, many ways I can put this data. I can change the structure. If I don't like this one, what can I do? Let's just play with it a little bit. Let's see, and with that will be enough for today, I think. How about I don't really want to make it a title. What can we do? That will be opportunity. A little bit HTML. How about we do table?
Could you put there Bootstrap?
Yeah, you don't need to. In fact, I'm not using here Bootstrap. I'm just using simple HTML. I'm just changing. I'm gonna remove this one in a second. Okay, I'm gonna remove this one altogether. So I'm putting a template before the loop and closing it. Inside, okay, inside, I'm gonna put a row. TR, it's for a new row. Okay, so every row, now that will be a row. Inside the row, I will have TD, which is for each column. Okay, so I will make 3 of them because I have 3 of those. And now I'm going to take this information, the ID will be in the first column. And the text will be for the second one. And you know what, let's put the emphasize inside too. That will be look nice. I can put it here inside the third one. Here we go, now I can remove it. I don't want this one, I want it to look like a table. Of course, this table will not have a border, and that's how we'll send you. Where's Michael disappeared? Michael?
I feel like we should adjust where we put the
Good,
item.
good, no problem. Okay, I don't know the connection if it's good or not. That's what I'm asking. So this one, in fact, by the way, I only did the change on HTML, so I don't have to start the server. Okay, so if I go here now, refresh. See, this is the table now. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah, but there is some formatting I didn't do. I have asked beautiful questions before. Hey, by the way, hey, the day I screwed up something. Do you see that? So I probably made a mistake.
It's not within.
Anybody can help me? Yeah, I didn't put it in the right place.
It looks like you need to create more table rows. TR.
No, I don't. Hold a second. I just didn't put it in the right place. Now it will be fine. Let's go back. Let's refresh. That's pretty cool. But it has some formatting. Where is this formatting came from? By throw in the air Bootstrap. Bootstrap is really has a lot of formatting for so many nice components. We'll get to that, as I said, in the next certificate. We can't really learn everything in one course. But by the way, here, the formatting didn't come really from Bootstrap. It came from another place, okay? I was just
Is it
pointing out.
responsive on various devices?
No, I think I might have put a file myself. I don't recall. Let's look at this one to do. Maybe I put it here. Where did I put it? Maybe in the base. Anybody see here style or something? This is a very important thing. So we'll learn it next semester. Extremely important. It has to do with Ajax. But I think maybe I put it somewhere here. Anybody see it?
Yeah, Bootstrap CDN there.
Yeah, but it's not coming from Bootstrap, by the way. That formatting, yeah, I have a Bootstrap here. I use it for other things. But this one, I think I made something by myself because I wanted to demonstrate the style. Let me see 1 second to double check myself. Let do right click. Tell me if you see here anything that has to do with, and I didn't want this one. No, this one. No. No. Did I close it? What did I do? Okay, let's reopen that one again. Okay. Let's go to the to-do and let's just do right click and do view page source. Anybody see style here? Maybe I got confused with something else I did. This is all the libraries that has formatting it here. Looking for something that I did like static. This is all our important libraries, okay? This one, by the way, it's a library sitting on this server. We'll talk about it when we get there. But all those are from the internet. We didn't talk about this stuff yet. But
What are you looking for exactly?
I'm looking for this styling that made the table look nice. And I remember that I put it, yeah, here. I think this is it. I think this is it. Okay, this one. Now, how do I know this is it, by the way? See, you can look, this one, I start with /static, styles, style tube DS, I think it's basic, CSS. Brian mentioned CSS before. You can make your own file just like some people like this one. It's coming from totally different place. I took it for some reason that I needed for Ajax stuff. As I said, this is another topic. We dive into it more in next semester, next certificate, can really cover everything. But this one I do want to mention. This one I want to mention. I'm just going to go over this one. First of all, where do I find it? Okay, where is it? And by the way, how is it really got here? Okay, this is the page. This is really the actual HTML. Let's follow this one. Let's try to find out what is this one and what do we mean. We said so many things, and I'm sure that you're totally confused. Please don't feel bad. You should be confused. It really is confusing. So here we go. This is the line, by the way. You see this line?
Yes.
But see, this line, it's written totally different than this one. This one, you get exactly the way it's written. By the way, it could be one line, but I just usually don't like to make it long. And in fact, there's even a PyCharm. I tell you, don't go to the right too much. So you can break it. It will be one line. So what's the difference between this one and this one? Both of them there are some code. It's not exactly code. I wouldn't even call it a code, but it's a CSS style or language which modifying the structure of the page. Okay. So, but I say there is a big difference between this line and this one. And that's why we're using Django, which is beautiful. And Jinja, in fact, there is Jinja here. And what do I see Jinja? It's right here.
Curly brackets percentage.
This is Jinja. And the beautiful thing is if you look at this line, it's not what you see here. Let's look at it. See this line? Hey, href, static, and something. You got it?
Yes.
On the other hand, the other one, it's exactly the way we wrote it. No change because we didn't put any Jinja to modify anything. So this is really going to the internet. In fact, if you really want to understand what's happening, this one is bringing automatically a file from the internet. Let me copy, open another one, and go there. So this is taking it from the internet. That looks like garbage, but it isn't. It's a lot of code for designing web page. You don't really need to ever look at it. Just understand how it works. On the other hand, where do I find this file?
Static.
It doesn't even look like an internet file. Is that right? Agree?
Yes.
Here I have HTTPS. There's no HTTPS. Why is this file sitting? Let's try to open it. We'll get an error. And it doesn't find it, you see? How about if we do the following? Academy CD. How about now? What do you say? Let's just take this two slashes there. How about if I do enter now? Hey, not found. Why didn't find? Paul, I need to take the English away. Hey, page not found. Why it doesn't like me? Why it doesn't like me? Should like me. Hold a second. No. Hold a second. We'll find it. We'll find it in a second, and then I will know why it doesn't come out. It should come out. No, no, of course. Why not? Anybody can tell me why it doesn't find it? What should I write here? 127.0. I'm using my computer, remember? Is that right?
Yes.
How about now?
Host server.
It doesn't like me. We'll figure it out, don't worry. Yeah, I need a port 8000. I forgot the port. So let's go here. We'll go here. We'll go here. Control V. Take one slash out. Bingo. Oh, here it is. Beautiful. Okay, I have to take this phone call. We have to break now, guys. In 4 minutes, I have a very important phone call with Chicago. Everybody with me, by the way? Did I lose anyone?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, we'll continue from here, but see the beauty. This is really a CSS file sitting on my computer. The other one, it's a CSS sitting in the internet. We will dive into that more next time. Okay? Okay? Everybody happy?
Okay.
Let me see everybody, by the way. Turn on your video, yeah, so I can say goodbye. Good, good. Where's Michael? Disappear.
My PC is reconnecting.
Okay. Brian, is that kind of, we're getting there, okay? A long way. That's why we have 2 more certificates. But this one is a very good foundation to the next. You know, and the truth of the matter, by the third certificate, you should be almost able to generate something like Academy City. And as I said before, Academy City is not just a school for computer science. It is really to do other fields, agriculture, economics, business, medicine, anything. But those certificates building up the structure or the knowledge, how you get there, okay? So talk to you guys. Have a good one. And we probably will have a session on, I don't know, I will talk to Michael and then we set up the next session. Have a
Okay.
good one. Bye, Michael. Bye, Brian. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I will upload the video, okay?
That would be cool.
Yeah. Michael, you're going to do a review with everyone.
Yes, we're actually going to have an
Bye,
interaction.
Jerome. Bye, Mildred. Bye, Brian.